We welcome in John Wertheim to the conversation. Obviously, Super Saturday, John, was such an amazing day for fans. But looking back on it now, it's almost hard to imagine, with as physical as tennis has become, that they used to ask the fellas to play back-to-back best-of-fives on purpose.
Keep in mind, too, the second match finished, close to midnight. So go home, loosen up. You got about 8 hours. We'll see you back for a best-of-5 match tomorrow. I'll tell you a funny story about Super Saturday. In 1983, CBS had really short matches and they had to fill, and they said, we are not doing that again. So we talked about the 3 matches, the men's semis sandwiched with the women's final, but also that day started with a men's 35 doubles match. So Stan Smith and John Newcomb played before any of this, and that match went the distance. So we talk about Super Saturday as 3 matches that went the max, but actually it was 4, and that's how you get 12 plus hours of tennis, guys.
Nolsey, we want to hit a couple of other topics here, and one of them is coming out of the ATP in the last couple of days, and since you're on the board, we wanted to throw this at you, announcing that they have achieved a couple of partnerships with a couple of firms that deal in mental health and wellness. One of them is called Sporting Chance. The other one is called Headspace, just to assist players and staff with mental health and well-being. Talk about the thought process behind that.
Yeah, I think obviously the pandemic that we're all going through right now has brought that to the forefront. But the new administration between Andrea Gaudenzi, our new chairman, and Massimo, our new CEO as well, they really want to take care of the players, which is very important. And it's interesting because, I think it's something that's overlooked a lot from a player's perspective, but it's kind of come to the forefront lately. I remember, a good friend of mine, former doubles partner, Marty Fish. He's somebody who had panic attacks, anxiety, had some mental health issues towards the latter stages of his career. And, I think it's important that we do address these and, kind of be more open and address more things for the players. So I think this is a great step. I think it's awesome. I think, players and staff can take advantage of it. And especially now, I mean, we are in a difficult time. All people kind of, channel things differently. How will they digest the last couple of months? So this is a great partnership that the ATP has brought to the forefront. That's a great point. I mean, we do this. Athletes, they're just like us. But you know what? There is the stress that comes with uncertainty. There is the loss of earning power. The IOC recently had a medical summit online, and they said their #1 priority was the mental health of elite athletes. And someone made an interesting point to me. They said, look, in team sports, you have infrastructure, you have teammates for support, but you also have close physical contact when you compete. They said an individual sport like tennis might be, on the one hand, less dangerous. You can social distance more easily. But at the same time, you don't necessarily have that support system. You have isolation. You have loneliness. So I think we've been talking about athletes staying in shape physically, but I think mental health is a huge issue and a huge intersection when we talk about sports and the COVID crisis, guys.
Well said. And Nolsey, I echo your comments in complimenting people like Marty Fish, and on the women's side, Monica Seles, who've been open about their struggles with mental health.